Welcome back to more Legacy of Kain Defiance. Today we are visiting the Vampire Citadel.
And so I arrived at the Citadel of my vampire ancestors, long abandoned since their extinction eons ago. Perhaps it still held the wisdom of its creators. Here, Mobius said I would find proof that Raziel was not what I thought he was, or hoped he would be. But in sending me here, Mobius had done me an unexpected, or perhaps an unwitting service. For it was my destiny, not Raziel's, my role as Scion of Balance, whose secrets I was here to discover.
Me. For Kain, it's all about him. And to be fair, why wouldn't it be? This series is called Legacy of Kain after all. Not Legacy of Raziel, not Legacy of Mobius. Kain. So he's right to be a little arrogant. Yeah, shades and tentacles. I would rather be fighting Seraphin on a bridge. I could seriously keep knocking those guys off of ledges all day. But tentacles and shades are not a great group of enemies. Not exciting at all. These shades really overstay their welcome. They use way too many of them. And quite a few more tentacles than I remember. Oh boy, more enemies. I don't know what these guys are saying. Apparently they are feral humans, and apparently they worship vampires. Which seems like an odd choice. But if they are going to worship vampires, then why are they attacking Kain? Unless they've never seen one before. I could see where you might have it where you have this family of, or even cult of people that have been serving vampires for centuries. Humans don't live very long, so as they kind of die and procreate and whatnot, I love that ability. It's cool. It would keep cycling through people as humans die and get born. Circle of life stuff. But after a while, the vampires would go away, and you would have generations moving on worshiping these beings they've never seen. And I could see where after a while they would have somebody saying, hey, wait a second. I've never seen a vampire. My parents have never seen a vampire. My grandparents have never seen a vampire. Maybe, just maybe, and then they're suddenly killed. Ah, that would never happen. Okay. What they should do, they should write everything down. The original worshippers, when the vampires were still here, they should have written everything down in a book. Something that over the decades, over the centuries, could be misinterpreted or changed to fit the whims of the elite, and built a religion around it. That would work, right? Right? I'm guessing I should just move on from that.
Here, no doubt, was the evidence Mobius wished me to have. For the vampires had prophesied not one, but two champions. One destined to be Nosgoth's redeemer, the other its destroyer. The vampire's hero wielded the Reaver, forged for this very purpose. His opponent was clearly the champion of their adversaries, the Hilden, and brandished a flaming sword. The foretold outcome was unambiguous. The vampire hero would fall.
Well, there you go. It's interesting how both Kain and Raziel have aspects of both the Hilden and vampire saviors, just to muddy the waters a bit. As I said earlier, we will hear a lot more about that going forward. I think we first heard about that in Soul Reaver 2, if I'm not mistaken. Then Blood Omen 2 happened, and they ignored all that. But that's what happens when you have a different team make a game in a series without even paying attention to what's gone on so far. Which was just great. And my allergies are bothering me again. Every time I record. Actually, I didn't realize I was about to get really, really sick. That's the first time I've showed that off. We should have an Inspire Hate ability at this point, but I'm not sure how to activate it. I never got it to work, and I don't think I missed it. Kain had that ability in the first game, so it's cool they brought it back. I just never got it to work. It's a shame too, because NPC on NPC violence is always fun. When it came to the old GTA games, I was that guy that would put on the pedestrians have weapons cheat and the pedestrian riot cheat, just to watch the carnage. It was a good time. Going back to the saviors, one is blue, one has wings, one has flaming eyes, one has a flaming sword. If you remember the Hilden in Blood Omen 2, they don't look incredibly dissimilar from Kain, which is interesting because Kain is a vampire who has fought the Hilden, so why would he want to be their savior? Which he obviously doesn't. So it's an interesting way of muddying the water when it comes to that prophecy. And of course, I'm not sure if we're supposed to know who's put those murals up. I believe Kain has already said images can lie. And Kain would know what he's talking about because while he doesn't know everything, he knows a lot. And one thing about Kain, he never lies. If you look at how he talked to the Seraphan in the first couple videos, he said things like, "I could promise you a quick death, but that would be a lie." And when he was grabbing that one Seraphan, he said, "Quickly, tell me where Mobius is." He didn't say, "Tell me where Mobius is or I'll kill you." He didn't say, "Tell me where Mobius is and I'll let you live." He just said, "Tell me where Mobius is." That's it. There was no ambiguity there. So Kain was very clear about his intent, which is why I would not have helped him had I been that guy. I'm also petty though. And any little victory I could get, I would take. I love how they use restraint when he says those lines. Him saying Ve Victus and his laugh. But they're a lot better done in this game compared to Blood Omen. I also noticed in that opening scene in this video, he talked a little bit more like his Blood Omen self, which was interesting. There was still that hint of proper Kain, but his voice was a little less menacing. Just made me think of Blood Omen, which is kind of cool. I approve. Much like I approve of those abilities. Ah, that scream. I didn't even know you could do that there. I did miss an opportunity to do that with Raziel, unfortunately, so I made up for it there. Yeah, my allergies are really bothering me, so I'm struggling to talk, so I probably shouldn't even be doing commentary right now. It's annoying. My throat gets all messed up when my allergies bother me, and has for a few years. Before it was just a runny nose, which I could deal with, but this is absurd. I have skipped some doors that you can check because you just get the same dialogue that you've heard Raziel and Kain say throughout this game and the Soul Reaver games. Oh, it looks like this door is locked. I need a special key to unlock this door. Some nonsense like that. So in this case, I could actually skip that. So I figured there was no point in showing it. Unless you just really want to hear Kain's voice. And why wouldn't you? He's got a real badass voice. And I do actually kind of like that woman moan as she dies. It's kind of funny. I do like how they're playing with the expectations of the saviors. That's pretty good. Of course, I know how this all plays out, at least as far as we know in the series. I have said not everything gets tied up in this game, and it's the last one. And we got an object, which will allow us to go further into this citadel. Don't worry, there will be temples. You didn't think we were done with temples just because we're not playing as Raziel, did you? Oh, sweet summer child. This is Legacy of Kain Defiance, where temples and statues abound. At least we're playing as Kain. For some reason in this area, you can't knock people off of this cliff area, which is a shame. There's an invisible wall in there. Yeah, she died too quickly. I couldn't get her blood, which sucks. Not that I'm in need of health, but it's Kain. You know he wants to drink blood. And I got stuck here, I guess because he's in attack mode. I forgot to press L1, I think it is, to get him out of it. So I got annoyed. And that means Kain deserves a snack. Oh boy, more shades. Sure would suck to be stuck in a room where you have to fight them. Hey, next video we're gonna get stuck in a room where we have to fight them. Awesome. And here's another jump point. Hold X and then release. I will try to get a few more of these transitions just to vary it up for next video because there's going to be a lot of passing through stargates. May not happen because I am lazy, but we will see. It also depends if I get a copyright claim on any of that. So far I haven't, but these videos don't post until the summer. I'm not sure if there's an actual language being spoken there. Would be interesting to know. Oh, quit talking your smack. You're talking to the star of the series after all. Yeah, it's a shame. So the Soul Reaver remasters apparently sold well, which is nice. I did read something that they were planning a Legacy of Kain game that got canceled, which blows. But then again, if it turned out badly, then I'm sure most fans would be happy it didn't exist. To me, the safest bet for the series would be remake Blood Omen. Either get Simon Templeton to voice Kain, or get his permission to use an AI likeness if he can't voice the character anymore. Because I'm sure he's old by now. Or just use the lines from the original game. At least the ones you can use. Oh boy, another statue. But they can make the game play something like this, or proper God of War, or even Devil May Cry. And add in all those cool magical abilities that you get in that game. I said it in Blood Omen, but it would be really cool to see some of those abilities in modern graphics. Hell, I said that back in 2015 when I played the game for the first time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start cutting these fights. I was actually really proud of this one because I feel like I kicked his ass pretty well. Yeah, he gets some hits in, like right now, where he gets a couple hits in. But I still end this fight with a lot of health. And it's not exactly a quick fight, but it doesn't take me 10 minutes to do. Mainly because I planned on using the refill health cheat. so I could go all out in this fight. But I ended the fight with enough health left that I didn't have to bother. They're gonna get worse, kids. Starting next video. There will be segments where you have to fight multiple statues. It's not great. And the shit thing about these things, you can't even drink blood from them. Which makes sense, they're statue. Oh god, this camera. Yeah, I was not happy with this camera here. Good god. So what I'm trying to do is get back out into an open area so I can fight this thing again. And the camera, I think, gets wonky another time. Yeah, there we go. But I recognized it this time, so I moved away quicker. Yeah, these things take forever to fight. Even being as aggressive as I'm being, that still took a while. And next video, we will have at least 2 encounters with 2 statues. One of those 2 encounters is going to be the upgrade to these statues, because they weren't tanky enough as it is. Well, I'll talk about that when we get there. It's not going to be fun. I think after next video, I'm going to start editing those fights a lot because it takes up time. I actually thought about putting the stuff for next video into this one too and making a 40 or so minute video, but I just don't want to do that. So I'm not gonna. I'm actually just trying to walk, but I figured if I can hit some enemies along the way, why not? Oh, and this is something interesting. So we're in the light temple now. We're moving to the fire temple, and then we will move to another one to start the next video. This is explaining how Raziel has bodies to jump into 500 years in the future, which you would think they would have decayed by now, but whatever. What do I know? Yeah, they're there because Kain killed them. So Raziel really should be grateful to Kain for everything that he's done for him. Yes, I know he broke his wings. He threw him in the abyss. I know, that had to suck. I did suggest maybe Raziel deserves that. But Raziel would be stuck in the spectral realm if not for Kain when he got to some of these temples. So really, Kain is the hero of the series, which makes sense because he's the star of the series. Epic. Anybody else? No? Okay, fine. I'm leaving. Oh, by the way, you can accidentally go through the Stargate when you're just fighting dudes, so be careful of that. I found that out the hard way. It doesn't screw you over, it's just annoying.
These statues were singularly inanimate. I knew better than to assume they would always remain so.
See what I mean? Kain knows what he's talking about. He's a smart dude. And he had access to that chronoplast, which I'm sure helped. Oh boy, more shades. And back in the fire temple. There's a significant lack of fire in this temple. I think I mentioned that before. I know I mentioned the blood in Janos' temple, which was essentially a fire temple. I wonder how the hell he got all that blood in there. He had to have killed a lot of people to get that amount of blood. Maybe Janos wasn't as good as he wants people to think. Never know. Or maybe he just took out pedos and murderers and feminists. You know, the dregs of human society. Awesome. So right now I'm just trying to make my way to the next temple, which is where I'm going to end the video. Yeah, I'm trying to engage in combat as little as possible just to keep it moving. The highlights of these games are the cutscenes after all. Kain? Through the Stargate. Awesome. And that's going to end the video. Thanks for watching. I will see you all next time with more Legacy of Kain Defiance.